Hey everyone, it's Tay, aka Slay, and boy, we have a doozy today. I woke up this morning wanting to play with makeup and talk about Thomas Halbert, so that's what we're going to do. As you see, I've already done my brows, I have my primer on, so I'm just going to play with makeup. I'm not really going to stop and tell you what I'm putting on, but let's just jump into it, really. Let me say a few things first. I completely understand why everybody is getting in their feelings about this. I get it. But speaking on the issue of race, of white privilege, speaking on any of that is very, very charged, and it's triggering to a lot of individuals. I get it. I also understand people's reasons for needing receipts. Most of us watch drama channels, and we're so used to people coming with the facts and coming with the proof that if anybody comes out with any kind of accusation, they want proof. I'm not here, just like I said in my other Jeffrey video, I'm not here to convince you to believe Jeffrey is a racist or not. I'm not here to tell you that you should support him or not. I am telling you that I choose not to support him. You all know why I choose not to support him. I believe that the texts that David shared were real. I believe Thomas. I choose to believe Thomas. And let me tell you why. Thomas said in his video that he was scared of Jeffrey's power. But he wasn't afraid to speak out before. Yeah, I became a fan of Thomas when he threw out the Jeffrey and Jouet collab. He put it right in the trash, and he's like, I don't support this person. I refuse to put this person on my channel. This is going straight in the trash. Now, I did think it was sus when he decided to follow one of Jeffrey's makeup tutorials and get those views up. I did think it was sus when he and Jeffrey were tweeting back and forth. I was like, wait, I thought you despised this person. Sanders Kennedy did the same thing. Sanders used to rant and rave about Jeffrey all of the time. And then all of a sudden he's like, hey, Jeffrey and I had a conversation. We're cool now. We're gonna stomp out the hate. I'm not bringing this into the new year. Okay. But that's their decision, not mine. That's their life, not mine. Nothing that they do affects me, so whatever. Thomas knew when he put out that video that all of this dust was going to kick up. He knew it, he expected it. He had to have. Because as a lot of people have pointed out, nothing good comes from calling out Jeffree Star. You have those die-hard, hardcore fans who are saying they need proof before they condemn this man. And I get it. Why he didn't speak up, I'm not making excuses for him. I'm speaking from my own experience because I've done the same thing. For the lion's share of my life, I lived in Woodbridge, Virginia. That is a town that is a 20-minute drive down 95 from Washington, D.C. Before moving to Virginia, I was in a military family. My father was in the Army, and we moved very frequently around the Philadelphia metro area. We lived in South Jersey, around like Mount Holly, Cherry Hill, all of that. We constantly went to Philadelphia for food and stuff like that. When you live on military bases, you're around kids who look like you and kids who look very different from you. When you live on a military base, you are surrounded by kids of every ethnicity, nationality, race, creed, whatever. And as a kid, you relate to everybody because in the military, unless your parents are dirt, you're not taught racism. You're not taught to see people differently. In the Army, you're taught that anybody in your line is your brother in arms. And that trickles down to your children. At least in my experience, I know that there have been many, many stories in the news about on military bases Black soldiers coming home from work or coming home from the field and seeing the N-word spray painted against their car, having crosses burned in their front yards. Black soldiers, African American men and women who serve this country, are still being discriminated against and disrespected just because of the amount of melanin in their skin. So when I left that environment, when my father retired from the Army after 20 years and we moved to Virginia, it was a completely different situation. Because I didn't grow up in the hood, I didn't talk like the other kids. I spoke exactly as I'm speaking to you guys right now. And even my brother would say things like, Tay is the whitest black girl that I know. A lot of my friends would say that. All while I was growing up, it's like Tay's the whitest black girl. Tay's actually white. She just gets so tan in the summer that it never goes away. Like all of those things. And for a long time, I didn't protest. I agreed because I was made fun of when I first moved here, when I first moved to Virginia. And all I wanted was to fit in. All I wanted was for my friends to accept me. The people that I thought were my friends. I just wanted them to accept me. I wanted them to invite me to things. I wanted them to want to see me. And that wouldn't happen if I spoke up. I was afraid of that. I was afraid that they would reject me. I was afraid that they would make more fun of me if I spoke up and said, this isn't right. I also didn't have strong people in my life to teach me that what they were saying wasn't right. I date men of all races, color, and creeds. I don't think that there's a man, any type of flavor of man that I have not dated. I remember being in college and this guy telling me that he normally didn't find black girls attractive, but there was just something about me. And I was so flattered, and I told my brother that, and he's like, you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be flattered. That's not a compliment. And it wasn't until years later that I realized why that's not a compliment. Because I finally had stronger, older people around me to tell me that's not a compliment, and here is why. So I understand why in that situation he may have stood silent, because he wanted that recognition, because he wanted that acceptance. Because he was afraid of rejection, he may have decided to stay silent. Not making excuses. I'm just saying that I've been in a similar situation, so that may be something to consider. I'm giving you something to consider. Maybe the people that Thomas has been around, he mentioned in his video having a very strong black woman in his life who told him, no, this isn't correct, and here's why it's not correct. Maybe that's what it took for him to come forward. To have those friends say, no, you need to say something. You needn't be afraid because we have your back. I also believe that I do believe he's doing a lot of work because he's going through a breakup. Thomas is heartbroken right now, and it's causing him to do a lot of self-reflection. I just released a video yesterday talking about how my breakup made me better, not bitter, and the thought processes that I've gone through since February. The things that have changed my mind and therefore have allowed to change me because of the breakup. Thomas may be looking at the people in his life, seeing who's more valuable, seeing who truly loves him, seeing who truly has his back, and is asking these people, what can I do to be better? Because he admitted it. He said, both Kevin and I were toxic people. Maybe he sat his ass down and said, maybe I need to not be toxic. I need to reach out to my friends and see how they perceive me and what I can do to be better. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know Thomas. I'm not texting him. I'm just giving you things to consider. I find it really troubling when people say, why is he choosing to speak out now? Why does anybody choose to speak out? It's when they finally find the strength to. As I said before, nothing good comes from calling Jeffree a racist. You get all kinds of hate thrown your way from all sides. You get people steady not believing you and calling you a clout chaser. The thing that's most troubling for a lot of us, his message is very muddy for a lot of us. The message falls on deaf ears for a lot of us because of the way he acted not a few months ago. If you don't know, beautiful woman, very talented YouTuber, GadgetB30, came out and said that she had won a giveaway that Thomas was hosting and he never sent her the items. Thomas not only disrespected her, he doubled down on that disrespect by calling her a liar, calling her a clout chaser, and then, to top it off, called anybody that supported her an old ass bitch. He said anybody over the age of 30 is an old ass bitch. People tend to forget that there are more than the 18 to 25-year-old demographic that watch YouTube videos. Hell, I'm 36, I'm sitting here making a YouTube video. I enjoyed Thomas's content until all that shit happened. As soon as I heard the old ass bitch comment and saw that he tweeted that my mama always said never apologize when you don't feel sorry for something, so I'm not apologizing, I unfollowed him on everything. I was like, this person has no humility. What the hell? How dare you? How hard is it to say, I fucked up, I'm sorry? And I find it very interesting that he is friends with Jackie Aina. They seem to have the exact same scandals, only a few months apart. That's amazing to me. Like, Jackie had a minor giveaway scandal where she said she was going to send something to a giveaway winner. The giveaway winner was like, hey, where my stuff at? And Jackie's like, nope, I'm gonna rescind this because you're being disrespectful. Okay. A few months later, it's revealed that Thomas did the same thing. Jackie puts up a video, you know, we've talked about it before. Jackie puts up a video accusing Paige Christie, Petty Paige, of theft and fraud, apologizes kind of on Twitter, but never takes it to the platform that she took the accusations to make it right. She never takes the time to say, listen, Paige did not do this. I was in my feelings. It was wrong of me to assume this, She's never done that. Here we have Thomas saying, I'm not going to apologize because I did nothing wrong. So, and I said it on Twitter, I'm going to keep the exact same energy with Thomas that I have with Jackie. I appreciate, and I really do. When Jackie spoke up about Jeffree, I appreciated those tweets. When Thomas made his video, I watched it 3 times. I appreciated everything he said. Because yes, that took strength. Because he knew the blowback that he was gonna get. But you have to clean up your side of the street too. Now, as I'm recording this, Thomas tweeted yesterday, and I quote tweeted it. Thomas said that he is going to apologize to Jasmine, to GadgetB30. He said, I'm going to make a video about it because she deserves more than Twitter. Bravo. It's touchy. Because you have people going after anybody who decides to still support Jeffree. I get it. There is no reason to propagate the hate we're trying to fight against. That's what you're doing, honestly. When you attack somebody so viciously, you're propagating the hate we're trying to eradicate. And that does no good for anybody. It's become impossible to have a civil conversation about it. And I talked about that before in my video about Tati. That's a whole nother thing. I just reminded myself. A lot of people are bringing up the fact that when Thomas did the collab video with Tati, that he brought the blood sugar palette and gave it to her. Couple things that went through my mind. One, as far as we know, Tati is still friends with Jeffree. Maybe she requested he bring that palette. We don't know. You know, maybe she said, hey, I don't have this one. Why don't you bring it over so I can use it? We don't know. Maybe he's just trying to use it because he wants it out of his collection. Not like he doesn't have the funds to throw it out or get something else. Who knows? Now, yes, if my theory is correct and Tati did say, hey, can you bring this over? He could have been in his right to be like, hey, no, I don't feel comfortable using this. We really shouldn't be supporting this person. We don't know the conversation that took place is what I'm saying. You guys have seen, I have 3 of Jeffrey's palettes. Have I used them on my channel? No, because my videos have been dedicated to other things. But they're in my project pan because I want to use them up and get them out of my collection. I don't think that necessarily negates what's going on. I thank him for speaking out, but I need him to clean up his side of the street. I am waiting with bated breath for that video. And when it drops, you guys will know what I think. I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup off camera and then I will come back and wrap this up. So to wrap all of this up, I truly appreciate those who stand up and say, this is wrong. This needs to be stopped. I'm calling this out because I want to be on the right side of history. I think back to when the whole Me Too movement started and the beginning of the Harvey Weinstein controversies, where men on the inside came forward and said, yes, I was complicit. I kept quiet because this man held my bag. This man held my career in his hands. If I spoke out, my family would go hungry. Things like that. And I know it's not easy for people like that to come forward. Do I believe that Jeffrey holds Thomas's career in his hands? No. But I understand the fear. I understand the almost subconscious decision to be complicit. Anybody that is in that circle that does not call it out, yes, is complicit and does deserve to be called out for that. But I think the only thing that should come out of this is for people to stop and think about what they value and what they believe. There are going to be those people that no matter what this man says, we see it with Donald Trump. This man literally says things to degrade women, says racially charged things, and he is in the highest position in the land. There are people that no matter what he says or does will support him until their last breath. Nothing we say is going to change that. The same with Jeffree Star. He could come out saying, yes, I said it. And there will be people who are like, oh, okay, he admitted it, I'm gone. And there will be people who be like, so what? It's just makeup. His liquid. I think that was the tweet on Twitter where she was like, his liquid lipstick formula is the best, so I'm going to keep buying it without impunity. That is your decision. That is your coin. That is your right. Just know who you're supporting. Know who you're giving power to. Thomas, you need to clean up your side of the street, boo-boo. That's all I ask. It might not be enough because you don't know me. You don't care. I would love to support you again, especially after this. Because not only did he speak about Jeffrey, he spoke about the larger issue in general, which was racism and how it needs to be checked in the community, period. So I appreciate him for that. Just do right. Make it right with everybody you have affected. And that's where I'm going to end this. Thank you guys so much for watching, if you made it to the end. All I ask is that if you want to have a discussion about it, let's do it respectfully. I'll see you guys in my next video. I know there are a million other videos you could have watched today, so if you watched this, I humbly thank you for coming to slay. Later.